if it's or a daughter and a son or 2 daughters, something along those lines, it's okay to get both their phone numbers. So that's the kind of things that we're going to go over with you there. After the referral call, or maybe even on the referral call, most of the time we let you know the suitability of that person. Yes, they're a possible donor. No, they're not. If we tell you they're not, then you can go ahead and call the funeral home and release at that point. We will not contact the family. We will not move forward. If they're a possible donor, then we will call the family within an hour of donation. So this is where the small process change has been made. Before, we have asked you to bring the family up to the nurse's station. We try and get them on the phone and talk to them right here at the hospital. We've realized that that can be a very difficult situation for a number of reasons. One, we're taking them away from their loved one who just passed away. It could be a child that the mother just wants to hold that child. It could be a wife or husband of 60 years. You just don't know the situation. So we don't want to pull them away from the family anymore. We don't want to put you in that situation. So as long as you get us the correct next of kin information, we will contact them within an hour. So you don't have to bring up donation, you don't have to pull them up to the nurse's station, so that's the new process change. Do you guys feel good about that?
Yeah.
Okay. And if, like I said, I will go over what to be said if donation is brought up, because sometimes people just will bring it up on their own, and I'll go over that with you. So just moving forward, we're not going to ask you, and you will also notice that we will contact everybody now. Okay, so you may come and say, nope, the family is adamant. We are going to still contact them, especially in registered situations. You guys last year had 20 deaths out of 25 were eligible for donation. 4 family refused to talk to Iowa Donor Network, and 3 of those people were registered donors. So we just went along with that and didn't call them versus trying to contact them. So especially with registered donors, we're going to contact them regardless. They may not ever answer, but at least we try to push through for that. So that's the difference in the process change. So if you guys have any questions or concerns, please don't be afraid to get a hold of me with that.
So we don't even need to tell them that you guys will contact them?
No, it doesn't even need to be brought up, because we'll contact
Maybe
them
that,
anyway.
okay.
Yeah, because then it might bring up a conversation or an awkward conversation, that sort of thing. So it's just easier just not to even mention it. So, yeah, good question. So goals, the reason we like to speak directly to families, there's a number of reasons. Many families don't know what their loved one's wishes are. In fact, those people that are no up front, a lot of times when you talk to them on the phone, they're like, oh, well, I'm glad you told me they were registered. I didn't think they were registered. It's pretty crazy how many people don't know what their loved one's wishes are. So we like to let them know that. We like to let them know what is it that their loved one's available to donate and how can that help others. We let them know everything about the process, how it works, what it looks like, how long is it going to take, when they're going to be back. And then after we give them all the information, then they can make the best donation decision after that. So that's why we like to speak directly to them. So that's just kind of our goals for that conversation. So if the family does bring up donation anyway, you might deal with the family that their loved one is not a candidate for donation. You don't feel comfortable telling them that, which we don't expect you to. But say they've had experience with donation in the past and they bring up donation to you. You could just say, I'm not an expert and I don't really know the answer to that, but I'll give Iowa Donor Network a call and you can talk with them. Put us on the spot, let us explain maybe why they couldn't be a donor, or even if someone is a possible donor, like, well, I really wanted to donate heart and lungs. Well, we all know that someone who's passed away here, you're making a referral, cannot be an organ donor. So that's another reason why we're kind of taking that conversation out, because we've had staff approach family before and say, oh, your loved one's a candidate for organ donation, and they automatically think they can donate their heart, and then we have to tell them they can't. So there's just been a lot of, because a lot of people think just organ, they don't think tissue, they just think organ. So it just is easier that way. Funeral home collaboration, the sooner we can collaborate, the better. It's easier if you call us first, because then we can let you know that yes, they're a possible candidate, or no, they're not. Then when you call the funeral home, you can say, I'm reporting this death, I can go ahead and release, or I'm reporting this death, but they are a candidate for donation, we'll keep in touch with you. That way, especially if it's in the middle of the night, they're not getting here, coming here, and realizing, oh, they're a candidate for donation, they didn't have to get up and come in the middle of the night. So you can do it either way. If you do talk to them first, that's fine, let them know donation is a possibility, but you're going to have to call them back then after you talk with us to let them know. So it just saves you that phone call. A little bit about eye donation. The current practice is to only remove the corneas for transplant. The whole globe can be recovered, but it would only be recovered for research, and we would make sure that we got consent from the families to do so prior to this. So the family knows everything that can be donated. We ask them ahead of time, would you like to hear a list of any and all tissues that your loved one can donate? Some people say no, I don't want to know, and other people are saying yes. So we give them that opportunity for us to list out everything that can be donated. These are some things in which eye donation may be needed, so stuff like Fuchs dystrophy or glaucoma, maybe a repeat corneal transplant. These are some things in which people would need those cornea transplants. A little bit about pooling the body since you don't have a morgue here. Once the family is completely gone and not coming back, and they are a candidate for donation, we would ask you to place ice. If they're not a candidate, we would not be asking you to do so. This just is a diagram of what it might look like. 2 smaller bags of ice on each armpit and the groin. I don't know if it's 5 pounds or not, but I envision like a gallon Ziploc baggie size is what I envision for the size. And just if it's going to be a while till we're able to get here, just make sure you're looking at that ice, making sure it's not melting. A lot of the delay in getting here is we have to have paperwork signed by the family before we can even send anybody up this way. So until we're able to talk with family and get paperwork, then we can get someone on their way. So it could be a couple, 3 hours before we're able to do that. And then just make sure you also document that time before it started. This is the donation timeline. I won't go through it all, but you see there's a lot that has to be done, and this all has to be done within 24 hours from the time of death or last time known alive. We do everything in blue for every single phone call. If they're not a candidate, we stop at the donation candidacy, and we would never contact the family then moving forward. If they're a candidate, then we try and contact the family. If the family wants to move through, then we do the following steps: complete the paperwork, transport, and then tissue recovery will take place. Tissue recovery can be anywhere from 2 to 8 hours, so that is a large chunk of time we're talking about just tissue alone. So this is a tissue impact map. The next 2 slides you'll see an impact. Nathan Frey and Timothy Frey were both tissue donors. They got in an ATV accident at either their home or their grandparents' home. I can't remember the exact details of it, but they both passed away at the scene. His mother decided to make both of them tissue donors. They were able to be organ because they passed away right then and there. But Nathan was able to impact 212 people's lives and help those aged 16 to 56 in 36 different states. So again, this just goes to show the work that you do every day and the impact that one tissue donor can have to multiple people. And his brother was able to enhance 159 people's lives, and some of his tissues went to Canada. And if you note here, 153 of his 159 tissues were located in Austin, Texas. So there must have been something during that time where they were needed. We do continue to take care of our families following donation. Every family is offered a donor medallion, offered donate life bracelets. We have memory bags for children. We also have multiple resources for all ages. And then we also provide our donor families, if they want, maybe some times and dates of support groups that are in the area for them to deal with that loss of their loved one. For organ donation cases, any family that we're dealing with that's in the hospital for organ donation, we are going to provide them all the care items they may need because they probably don't think about bringing that with them. Hand embossings we'll offer, so whether that's hand or foot, whatever they want, however many they want. Every family will receive 1 donor family quilt that best resembles who their loved one is. And then we also offer every family 1 Heart Prints pillow, which has a recorder inside of it. This we just started a year ago. We can record the loved one's heartbeat, and they'll forever have that with them. Some take that recorder and actually go to Build-A-Bear and make a couple Build-A-Bears or however many for maybe their grandkids or the kids, whatever the case may be. So it's pretty cool that we're able to do that. We are the middleman between donor, family, and recipient correspondence. So both parties must agree to correspond. So even if a donor family really wants to meet the recipient, but the recipient has no interest, we can never ever tell the recipient who the donor was. That is a HIPAA violation, and until both parties agree, we can't share that information. We have many donor family events. So we have Candlelight Tribute every year that honors donor families throughout the years. They come to either Sioux City, Altoona, or North Liberty. We have them 3 different weekends. During this time of year, we actually just got done with our last one on Sunday. They come, they light a candle in honor of their loved one. They share a picture and a story of them. It's a pretty cool event. We also have 5Ks throughout the year. We have a beautiful donor memorial garden as well. I am going to end you guys with a quick video.
I like to play video games. I like to play basketball, baseball.
Really, there isn't anything that he doesn't enjoy doing as long as it's active.
He's kind of an old soul. He's very wise beyond his years.
After we had done the biopsy, we sat down and had a long conversation with Dr. McGarry. In our mind, all along, we had anticipated that we were probably going to have to amputate the arm He told us after he did the biopsy that basically there was a chance, if they could get all of the cancer and have clean margins all the way around, that they could potentially do a transplant.
Hour 6, the phone rang, and the surgical nurse said, I have really, really, really good news. And after 3 reallys, she isn't going to tell you she amputated your son's arm.
We waited for Chase to come out of post-op, and he come around the corner, and out of the corner of his eye, he didn't even move his head, but he just said, "Look, Mom," and he rolled his fingers like this.
And 5 fingers moved. Chase received the bone from a 56-year-old female. So if you can imagine a 56-year-old female
And a 10-year-old body,
saving the right arm of a then 9-year-old boy.
to look at that arm and see what he can do with it now, and to know that that person potentially lives on in him and will the rest of his life. Michelle often refers to Chase as an old soul. Yeah, he truly is an old soul, because he's got the bone from a 56-year-old woman who had the forethought to think, I want to help somebody else, and that truly is a blessing to me.
That's just a good example of video of the impact you guys have daily on those referral calls that you guys make. So pretty life-saving event for that family, and that was through tissue donation alone. So pretty cool story there. I have provided some resource over there. The one page is about kind of our new process change, and the other one is a cheat sheet. So you can fill it out before you call us. That way you have everything written down prior to your phone call. My information is also on there, so if you have any questions, don't be afraid to get a hold of me. These are some action steps. The one I want to point out and make sure everyone does and thinks about moving forward is just making sure we're always obtaining that next of kin cell phone number or contact information so we can get a hold of them and offer the opportunity of donation. Any questions? I'm going to pass these out. You guys will go home with your certificate today. So again, you do need your nursing license number to get credit for this. So please fill it out exactly how it is, no abbreviation. So Franklin General Hospital does need to be spelled out all the way. And the date of the program, and then your license number will be required in 0.1 CEUs. And you go ahead and keep the white copy and keep me with the yellow.